Hey there! Have you ever walked out of a meeting and thought, man, I did not land that point? Or maybe you've stared at a blank email, just struggling to find the right words for a really high-stakes situation. Look, you're not alone. Today, we're going to unlock a few super powerful business English phrases that can honestly make all the difference, helping you communicate with way more clarity and confidence.
So let me ask you this. Just think back to your last important meeting, or that big email you sent. Were you totally 100% sure that your message was heard exactly the way you meant it? It's that tiny little gap between what you intend and how it's received. Well, that's where big opportunities can be won or lost.
You know, in the corporate world, it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. It's so important. Your words can either open doors or put up walls. And sounding professional, that's not about using big, fancy words. Nope. It's about being understood, crystal clear, and getting things done.
And that brings us to what I kind of like to call the professionalism puzzle. You've got all the pieces, right? You've got your great ideas, your data, your goals, but finding the perfect words to make them all fit together seamlessly, that can be really tricky.
So, what's the secret to solving this puzzle? Well, it's realizing that business English isn't just, a language. It's more like a precision tool. It's specifically designed to help you communicate with absolute clarity in a professional environment.
Okay, so how do we actually use this tool? The thing is, it's not about having a massive vocabulary. It's about knowing the right phrase to pull out at the right moment to get the result you want.
And that is exactly what we're about to do. The phrases we're going to go over are built for one reason, and one reason only: to help you sound professional, totally polished, and completely in control no matter what the situation is.
All right, let's get practical. We're going to dive into some specific phrases for those key moments you probably face every single day. Think of this as your new playbook for handling those critical business situations with total confidence.
First up, this one. It's so simple but so powerful and action-oriented. Just picture this. The team's been debating, the discussion is winding down, and now it's go time.
So, when do you use this? It's for that moment when you need to turn all that talk into action. Saying, let's proceed with the plan is so much more than a suggestion. It actually signals leadership. It tells your team, okay, the debate is over, we're on the same page, and we're moving forward. It's decisive, and it gets everyone motivated.
But what if it's not the right time to act? What if you get that feeling that the team is about to rush into a decision way too fast? Well, that's where our next phrase comes in.
Imagine a meeting where a ton of ideas are flying around, but they're all just based on gut feelings. This is your moment. Using this phrase gently hits the brakes. It shifts the entire conversation away from opinions and back to the facts. It shows everyone you're thoughtful, you're strategic, and you're all about making smart, data-driven decisions. It's a really powerful way to make sure the team doesn't make a mistake.
Now here's a phrase you'll probably find yourself using all the time. It's all about getting the info you need without sounding pushy or, like you're micromanaging somebody. It's such a simple question, right? But it's so effective. It's polite, it's respectful, and it completely changes the dynamic from a demand to a collaborative check-in. This is how you stay in the loop while keeping things positive and professional. And finally, a phrase for those really delicate moments, when things get a little tense or maybe wires get crossed. This might be the most advanced phrase we're talking about today because it helps you handle potential conflict with some real finesse.
This phrase, it's basically a diplomatic magic wand. In a tense situation, it works because it doesn't place any blame. It completely avoids saying, you're wrong. Instead, it says, hey, it seems like our perspectives aren't lining up. Let's fix that. It immediately opens the door for clarification instead of letting things turn into a big confrontation.
So there you have it, 4 really powerful phrases that are now part of your brand new communication toolkit. And remember, these aren't just words. They are strategic tools you can pull out for very specific professional moments.
Let's just run through them one last time. When it's time for action, let's proceed with the plan. When you need to pause and assess, we need to analyze the data. When you need information, could you give me an update? And for resolving conflict, there seems to be a misunderstanding. 4 simple keys to unlocking a whole new level of professional communication.
So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. Go ahead and look at your calendar for this week. Find just one meeting or one email where you can consciously try out one of these phrases. And don't just say the words. Really pay attention to the effect it has. See how it changes the feel of the conversation. That's where the real learning kicks in.